Hey guys, today we're going to finally get into some really cool geometry topics, starting with some triangles. So this is on page, I think it's on page 61. So I'll show you the question, it's probably easiest. This is number 14. Number 14 says U is the midpoint of TV. TU is this length, UV is this length. Find TU, UV, and TV. So basically the word midpoint means middle. So if U is the middle of segment TV, let's draw that. This is going to be page 61 to 63 that these questions come from. So U is the midpoint of TV, so it's a segment. So we start at T and we go to V, U is in the middle. And it says that TU is 3x plus 4. So it's really important in geometry to make a picture. UV is 5x minus 2. Find TU, UV, TV. So basically you're just going to simply set these equal to each other. 3x plus 4 equals 5x minus 2, and you've created an algebra equation. That's going to be the key to a lot of these problems. Learning the vocabulary, midpoint means equal or middle, so these are equal segments, and then solving an equation. If I subtract 3x from both sides, then add 2, I get 6 equals 2x, divide by 2, x is 3. Now I know I've done this correctly because if I take x equals 3 and plug it in, TU is 13. 3 times 3 plus 4, that's 13, that's TU. 5 times 3 minus 2 is also 13. UV is 13. And of course TV is the whole thing. 13 plus 13, which is 16. Let's do number 16. Number 16 says, classify each angle as being acute, right, or obtuse. Acute angles are less than 90, right angles are exactly 90, and obtuse are more than 90. So X, Y, Z, this 35 degree angle, this is acute. Z, Y, W is also acute. X, Y, W is this whole thing here. 35 plus 55 is 90, so that's obtuse, or excuse me, right. An obtuse angle would be V, Y, Z, because that's 90 plus 35, which is 125. Number 18 uses the vocabulary word bisects. Bisects means cuts in half. So if NP bisects MNQ, this diagram goes to this question, so we'll have to draw one. So let's draw MNQ. So this is number 18. M and Q, and it says NP bisects it. So NP is right in the middle. And it also says that MNP is 6x minus 12. P and Q is 4x plus 8. Because bisects means cuts in half, these two sections are equal. So I make the equation 6x minus 12 equals 4x plus 8. Solve the equation by subtracting 4x from both sides. Add 12 to both sides. 2x equals 20. Divide by 2. X is 10. And again, let's double check. If I plug 10 in here for M and P, 6 times 10 minus 12 is 48. If I plug it in here, 4 times 10 plus 8 is also 48. And this whole angle is 96. I drew it incorrectly. 96 is actually an obtuse angle, but I didn't know that at the beginning of this question. Let's see. Let's try number 22 and 23. 22 says, find the measure of the complement and supplement of each angle. Complementary angles add up to 90. So the complement of 74.6 would be 90 minus 74.6, which is 15.4. The supplement would be, supplementary angles add up to 180. So you would do 180 minus 74.6, which is 105.4 degrees. Now this one looks kind of weird. You literally would just take 90 and subtract this from it, and 180 and subtract it from it. Let me show you. So for number 23, the complement of an angle is 90 minus whatever you already know. And in this case, it's the binomial 2x minus 4. So wrap it in parentheses. You gotta distribute this negative when you subtract. 90 minus 2x plus 4 is 94 minus 2x. The supplement is 180 minus whatever your angle is. And again, 2x minus 4 wrapped in parentheses. Distribute your negative, you get 180 minus 2x plus 4, which is 184 minus 2x. Now, if I added these angles together, it would be 180. 2x and negative 2x cancel, negative 4 and 180 is 180. Same thing up here, negative 2x and 2x cancel, 94, negative 4 is 90. Let's try perimeter and area. Look at number 28. Find the perimeter and area of each figure. Perimeter means the distance around the outside. Now in this case, we have an algebraic expression as one of the sides. So for 28, these two sides are equal, so they're both 5x plus 7, and these two sides are equal, so they're both 20. So for 28, we're going to make an equation. The perimeter would be 20 plus 20 plus 5x plus 7 plus 5x plus 7. So that's 10x if you add up the x's, and if you add up the numbers, you would get 54. That's the perimeter. Area the area would be the length times the width. So to do that, you would take your length, which is 5x plus 7, and you'd multiply it by your width, which is 20. So we would distribute the 20, 100x plus 140 would be the area. Let's try number 30. What if we have a circle? They're asking similar things. Find the circumference and area to the nearest tenth. The circumference of a circle, so we have this circle with a radius of 14 feet. Circumference is pi times diameter. If the radius is 14, the diameter is 28. 28 times pi on a calculator is 87.96. Well, to the nearest tenth, it's about 88 feet. Area is pi r squared. So we do pi times 14 squared. 14 squared is 196. 196 times pi, according to the calculator, rounded to the nearest tenth, is about 615.8. And this is square feet. couple more. Let's do number 32 and 37. 32. It says, y is the midpoint of AB. Find the missing coordinates. So the midpoint formula is actually the average of the points. So if you average 3 and negative 1 and average 2 and 4, you'll find those missing points. So for example, for 32, midpoint is the x's added up and divided by 2, and same with the y's added up and divided by 2. So our x's were 3 and negative 1, add those up and divide by 2, and our y's were 2 and 4. Add those up and divide by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 6 divided by 2 is 3. If you graph these points, picture it. A was 3, 2. And B was negative 1, 4. Negative 1, 4. Is it believable that the midpoint of these 2 points would be 1, 3? 1, 3. Yeah, that looks right. Oops, sorry. So 1, 3 is the answer we got from the formula. We graph the original points just to think about does 1, 3 make sense? And then the final question, number 37, has the points L and M. We want to use the Pythagorean theorem and the distance formula to find the length of LM. So first, the distance formula. You subtract your x's, square them, and add it to the same thing with the y's. So our x's are negative 4 and 3, and our y's are 2 and negative 2. This turns into adding. So this is negative 7 squared and 4 squared. 49 and 16 is radical 65. Now let's use the Pythagorean theorem and see if we get the same answer. The Pythagorean theorem we recently learned is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But we have to have a right triangle. So, for our right triangle,